Good day, Mr. Bell, and well met. I recall you were hoping for a pay rise. How did that go?
Well, I got a pay rise, innit? I took your advice about banding together with the other hired men and gabbing about how much coin we was getting. Turns out, another one of the lads weren't getting paid enough for his lady parts neither. So, we all refused to do our rehearsals until the boss man fixed it.
Well done, Mr. Bell. I must say I am most proud of you.
But this day, I am come about my skin. She's so clapped, I need twice as much ceruse as normal.
Ah, yes, Venetian ceruse, the white lead and vinegar paste ladies and players use to whiten their faces.
You have to fix it for me, Doctor, for my role in Mr. Shakespeare's new play. I'm to play a lady who disguises herself as a lawyer.
A lady cunningly disguised as a lawyer? Forsooth, how original. But I see not why you need worry over your complexion. Having a sound grasp of Latin and a talent for eloquence are the usual qualifications of a legal advocate, are they not? Is it verily necessary for this lawyer to have beauty as well?
Well, Mr. Burbage seems to think so.
These are enlightened times, and we must have confidence in our audience that they will accept, even welcome, the notion of a lady of learning, as long as she be lovely enough to lie with.
I see. And 'tis true your skin is looking a little less than lovely at present. Let us see if we may find a remedy for it in the stars. What is the matter with Humphrey Bell's face, and what may be done to improve its appearance? The stars indicate that your skin troubles are occasioned by the ceruse paste you're applying to your face. The lead it contains is causing your scabs and, if I am not mistaken, some thinning in your hair. But these are merely indications of a greater trouble it is causing, a distemperature of the liver. You must no longer apply lead to your face, Mr. Bell.
What you mean, like, 'tis poisonous or something?
Oh, nay, lead is not poisonous. You merely seem to have a sensitivity to it, is all. I will write you up a prescription to take to an apothecary. He will concoct you a paste from alum, tin ash, and sulphur as a replacement for the ceruse you have been using. And to hide the damage to your skin, you might apply the white of a raw egg to your face. 'Twill act as a kind of glaze over your complexion.
So all this will fix my face, yeah? Zah! I thank you kindly, Dr. Foreman.
Mr. Foreman, doubtless I need not explain why you have been brought before the College of Physicians this day. We have been informed that you persist in practicing medicine without a license, in defiance of the law and in spite of previous warnings given you by myself and my distinguished colleagues. How do you answer this charge? Well, what do you have to say for yourself, Sirrah?
I say that I am a good doctor, and that my many years of experience have allowed me to perfect my methods as a true physician.
You would dare speak of your methods, Mr. Foreman? We are informed that you write your patients' names and complaints in a notebook, doubtless all the better to blackmail them with.
Ah, yes, my case books. Indeed, sir, 'tis most useful to be able to remember a querent's history.
Furthermore, you use astrological readings not simply to predict the course of an illness or judge the best time for a treatment, as good medicine teaches us, but you find the cause of the disease in the stars. You refuse to examine your patient's urine for this purpose.
Well, yes, for...
And you would dare claim that in these past years you have gained medical knowledge and skill from mere experience? Then I invite you to provide proof of it now. You will submit to an examination. Silence! Simon Foreman, you have failed this examination, and thereby have proved yourself unfit to practice medicine. Remove this charlatan, this carnival quack from my sight!
What, again? I demand to speak with my legal counsel. You will regret this!
His blood has suffered woe. Life has brought her very low. Mayhap there be some solution, though. Read the stars and we shall know.
Well met, Alice, dear friend. Since your husband's death, I have oft thought of you. Fare you well?
Oh, Foreman, I am sorry for not coming to see you sooner, for I was grateful for your warning about Blag's illness. It gave me the sense to bide with him in his final hours. It was only then that I did realize how much I did love the old fool, despite his mump-headed nature and his leaving me and the children with not a penny between us. But the day after he passed, I came upon a note he had writ for me. I warrant that was your idea, was it, Foreman?
It may have been.
Then I thank ye for it, Simon. For 'twas a comfort to be left something to remember him by, even if it be the only thing he did leave me. But things are better since I did become Mistress Macy.
Then you have remarried?
Aye, 'twas the only means of putting a roof over our heads and meat in our bellies. And Mr. Macy is a kind man. Oh, but Foreman, we may not have our roof much longer. Macy has threatened to leave me.
The brute!
Well, to be fair, I suppose I did fail to apprise him of the full extent of Blag's debts, which are, as you know, not inconsiderable. But what am I to do about it now?
Ah, yes, of course. By marrying you, he is now responsible for the debts of your late husband, according to the law. In sooth, 'tis a high price to pay for a wife. No matter the marital bliss, her bountiful charms and fine qualities do doubtless afford him.
Ah, save it for another day, Foreman. 'Tis not your chub-brained flattery I am come for. 'Tis your counsel.
Then let us see if the stars may offer a solution. How may Alice May say prevent her husband petitioning for a divorce? Alas, you have little hope of calming your new husband's feelings about your late husband's debts. But the stars suggest that your family might go abroad, and thus put yourself out of the reach of Blag's creditors. You must do this without delay.
Go abroad? You mean where foreigners live?
Aye. My chart also suggests that you find some creative solution to ensure your husband's cooperation in such a project. Has he ever expressed an interest in the New World colonies? Or perchance you might suggest an extended tour of Roman antiquities.
Nay, but I will put my mind to it. But if we do go abroad, this is doubtless the last time I shall ever see you, Foreman.
Hear ye, hear ye! Nation mourns death of beloved Queen. King James of Scotland tipped to succeed to the English throne. Hear ye!
shapely behind.
Good day, Mr. Bell. Oh, I must congratulate you on your performance of the comely lady lawyer in The Merchant of Venice. And methinks your skin is much improved. 'Tis verily glowing.
Aye, Dr. Foreman, changing my lead paste for sulphur worked very well. Mistress Burbage says I now look a picture of beauty.
Did she now? Forsooth, 'tis well to hear the troubles with your skin are resolved. Now, what is it you come for this day?
Mr. Shakespeare has written a new play, and I need to look younger if I'm to get a good part in it. 'Tis about an ancient Roman general called Titus Andronicus. I wish to play the role of his comely mother, the Lady Tamara.
You need to look younger in order to play a man's mother, you say. But according to my casebook, why, sir, you are not yet 25 years of age.
Aye, sir, indeed. 'Tis but the business of playing, though, innit? At least, according to Mr. Burbage. He was well vexed when I pointed out how the man played Titus is near as old as I am.
If the stage is not to your liking, Mr. Bell, I invite you to seek employment elsewhere.
All right, then. Let us see what the stars advise. What can be done to make my querent Humphrey Bell appear younger? My chart suggests if you were to undergo some manner of transformation, it might help you recapture your youthful allure.
Like, what kind of transformation?
Well, you might consider changing over your appearance. My lady querents tell me that a change of hair or wig colour can leave them feeling quite renewed, particularly those ladies who have lately been cast aside by a lover.
You saying I just changed my hair and bish bash bush a little younger?
Apparently so. I am told that lightening the hair can be particularly efficacious, as it evokes a youthful, almost childlike appearance in a woman. Such lightening is easily achieved by soaking the hair in urine.
Urine? Like stick my head in my chamber pot or something?
Aye, mayhap after you make your morning water. Fresh urine is usually preferred, for then 'tis agreeably warm when applied to the head.
I will not lie, that sounds mad. But if all the ladies are doing it, I might give it a try.
All this energy
Good morrow, Mistress Fortescue. How may I do you serve?
Oh, Dr. Foreman, I have urgent need of your advice. Oh, woe! I know not what I am to do.
On my word, madam, I have never before seen you in such a state. Pray tell, whatever can the matter be?
'Tis my husband, Captain Fortescue. God mend me! He has been implicated in a conspiracy to commit treason.
Ah, yes, your husband, Captain Henry Fortescue. He is a great friend of Sir Walter Raleigh, is he not? Oh, methinks I see your problem. For Raleigh has been implicated in a plot against our new king, has he not? 'Tis said the plotters wished to oust the king and install the king's cousin on the throne. Or was Raleigh involved in that other plot? The one to kidnap the king and force him to appoint a more religiously tolerant privy council. In truth, there are so many plots against the English throne these days, 'tis hard to keep abreast of them all.
Indeed, I know not which plot Sir Walter was arrested for, but I have heard tell that the Privy Council seeks to find conspirators amongst his associates. Hence I have been hiding my husband in our cellar and pretending he's still away at sea.
But why would your husband fear arrest? Was he involved in Sir Walter Raleigh's plot?
Nay, he was not. But all London believes that he and Sir Walter are very great friends.
Ah, yes, I see. But what of your own friends, Mistress Fortescue? All those lords, ladies, and bishops who have so oft graced your table, would they not speak in your husband's defence?
Well, dear Emma says she will speak for my husband, but alas, she now has little influence at court on account of some scandals of her own. As for my other acquaintances, they have all disowned me. They decline my invitations, and no one is at home to me when I call upon them. Even Sir Munchalot has stopped speaking to me.
Even your parrot, madam? On my word, that is very cold.
I beseech you, sir, read the stars and tell me how I might save my husband from arrest. Pray assure me he will be safe.
Let us see, then. Is Captain Henry Fortescue in danger of being arrested for treason? If so, what might Mistress Fortescue do to prevent it? Madam, although your friends in the royal court may no longer own you in public, perchance they could be prevailed upon to act on your behalf in private. Verily, madam, I urge you to write to them and bid them use their influence in your family's favour. Mayhap they can quietly speak well of your husband to the king and to the lords of the Privy Council. In the meantime, you must behave as if you have nothing to fear or be ashamed of, as if your husband is full innocent of treason. Hold your head high, Mistress Fortescue.
But oh, Dr. Foreman, Surely you see how low I am come.
Madam, have you not before suffered the slings and arrows of social misfortune and yet risen victorious?
Well,
You had a house full of guests purging from all their orifices, and yet you did not waver. You suffered an attack upon your mucosal membrane by the most fiendish of New World fruits, those known to affright the bravest of conquistadors, and yet you soldiered on. And after you played the fool before lords, bishops, and countesses, still they thronged for invitations to your luncheons. Truly, madam, are you not a leader amongst women? Reclaim your place at London's dinner tables and use it to save your husband. Take back your Camelot.
indeed, sir, I shall not be cowed by spiteful wagging tongues any longer. I now go forth to restore my husband's honour and our family's good name.
Fare you well, and Godspeed, Mistress Fortescue.
Humphrey Bell, your time upon the stage grows near to its end as you advance in age. But hold, no tears, come down, resign your fears, you're just too old to earn a living wage.
Good day to you, young sir. May I say, your playing of Titus Andronicus's comely mother was excellent. Well, a wondrous performance, Mr. Bell.
Yay, I did get to play the role of Tamara in the end, but it weren't on account of changing my hair, innit? Lightning made it too fair. All the other players are like, bruv, you look like a Neverlander or something.
Ah, I must own I did not account for the risk of that.
Boss man only let me keep the role because Mistress Burbage made him. This why I need your help, Doctor, for now she says I'm in her debt and she's asking me for things.
Ah, she wants her pound of flesh, does she?
I said, she does. And she's told me in bare detail which part of my body she means to have it from.
On my word! But surely, Mr. Bell, if Mistress Burbage's attentions occasion you discomfort, you have merely to tell her so. Make it plain you wish your relationship to remain professional and bid her abstain from any amorous advances.
You what? Nay, sir. If I air her, she'll be vexed and I could lose my job. Know you what I mean?
Ah, I see, yes. If she were to take umbrage, she might use her influence over her husband to prevent you from getting work. Well, I do have a recipe for a very effective aphrodisiac. Nay? Then let us see what the stars advise. How might Humphrey Bell calm the ardour of Mistress Burbage without it costing him his career? The stars indicate that Mistress Burbage harbours an excess of choler in her heart. It has given her a somewhat dominating disposition, and such women oft show a preference for men they perceive to be submissive.
What are you saying, Doc?
Perchance if you were to adopt a more assertive, commanding demeanour, Mistress Burbage's lustful ardour may be tempered.
What you mean, like, be all hench and that? I will not lie, it's not me though, innit? You heed me.
But you are a skilled player, are you not? Think upon it as a role I have given you, as if all the world's a stage, and you are merely playing. At being, hench, as you so call it. You can do it, Mr. Bell.
Aye. Yea, methinks I can. I thank you kindly, Dr. Foreman.
Lancelot Moore is doubtless a fool, yet men of his class are destined to rule. They tell us 'tis but the order of things, as is the divine right of kings.
Good even, Mr. Moore. How may I do you service?
I have a mind to take up a profession and would have your counsel on it. For I must say, your advice thus far has been most excellent. Counselling me not to marry that sly succubus Emma Dyer did veritably save my life. Indeed, I have heard it rumoured that her husbands have a lamentable habit of dying, if you follow my meaning. In short, their deaths are most unnatural and not at all accidental. Do you understand what I'm telling you, Foreman?
Aye, I do, Mr. Moore. Pray afford me a moment to recover from the excess of shock and surprise I do feel upon being told of the lady's true nature. Now, you say you wish to take up a profession. 'Tis a military career you're considering, I presume? You wish to distinguish yourself in battle?
Nay, 'tis a career in the church. I have a mind to take holy orders.
You wish to become a clergyman? Pray tell, how came you by this notion?
'Twas given me by the top dog himself, the Archbishop of Canterbury. He's a hunting chum of my father's. Aye, the Archbishop is a crack shot with a musket. You should see him at it, Foreman. Give the man half an hour and a pouch of lead shot, and he'll turn your duck pond into duck soup. It seems the Archbishop has had his eye on me for quite some time.
Verily, indeed.
He says I show great promise, and that under his personal tutelage I should rise very rapidly. He even said he has a mind to make me Bishop of Salisbury.
Ah, yes, the much-coveted bishopric of Salisbury.
But before I make my final decision, Foreman, I thought I'd better come to you first.
Aye, very wise of you. Then let us see what the stars foretell. Would my querent, Lancelot Moore, enjoy success as a clergyman? should indeed take holy orders, Mr. Moore, for the stars do indicate that life as a clergyman would transform you. 'Twould turn your mind away from vice and idle pursuits.
I see.
So, there is your answer.
Ah, yea. But do the stars give any additional reasons as to why I might pursue a career in the church? Aside from the fact of it being godly and such.
Well, my chart does also suggest that doing so would enhance your eligibility as a suitor, for taking orders would serve as a signal of your wisdom and virtue.
Oh, verily?
Aye, it says here that if you become a clergyman, yes, that God will reward you with ladies.
God's underlumps! And to think all the hours I've wasted learning to play the lute for such a purpose. I thank you, Foreman, for you have helped me find my true calling. I shall take holy orders and begin dispensing wise counsel and spiritual guidance to all the ladies of London.
Here comes crafty Emma. What does she ask for now? Many times it is needless to say how despite her sins may she be saved most of what God gave. Here comes crafty Emma. What does she ask for now?
God give you good day, madam.
Good day to you, sir, and well met.
And how fares your husband, Lady Dyer? I recall you were worried for his health.
'Twas the diabetes, the disease you judged him as having. He died from wounds that never healed.
You mean the wound on his lordship's hand? But I recall you saying it was quite small.
Oh, yes, that wound was, but he acquired many more. One evening, whilst we were summering at our country estate, the stone railing of our balcony gave way, and he fell into some particularly thorny rose bushes.
Verily? How distressing. And he never recovered from the scratches?
Nay, 'twas most tragical and so forth.
Well, I am sorry to hear of your husband's passing, but, madam, are you quite well? You do not seem yourself this day, if I may remark on it.
Dr. Foreman, I am more myself than you have ever seen me, for during these past years I have been playing a role that has served me well, to be sure, but I am grown tired of it. Indeed, I am not proud of my dissembling. I'm not proud of some other things besides.
And doubtless you are come to unburden yourself by confessing your, what those things are.
What? Nay, of course not. As I was saying, whilst my dissimulations have afforded me wealth and status, such a life as I have lived has not fulfilled me. For though I have been married many times and known many men, I have always lacked one important thing.
A moral compass?
And that thing is love. In short, I have found love, Dr. Foreman, and the object of my affection is not one of these privileged popinjays I've met at the royal court. Nay, 'tis a real man, a man who knows what it is to make his own way in the world.
Oh, you mean to say... You mean you and I?
Verily, upon seeing him play Tamara in Titus Andronicus at the Globe one even, I was, well, my heart was took.
I see. You are in love with a player then, I take it.
Aye, and I wish to marry him. But first, I would know whether such a match be advisable. Is our love true, or is my considerable coin and property where his true affections lie? Such a deception would not surprise me in truth.
Well, nay, doubtless it would not. Let us see whether the stars can tell us. The stars bless the match between you and the young man.
They do not think it would be bad for him in some way. They do not judge.
The chart indicates that your relationship with this young man has changed you. It would be a faithful, lasting marriage.
Verily? I must own I dared not expect such a happy ending to my story. I thank ye heartily, Dr. Foreman.
Humphrey Bell, our thoughts we must disclose. Though your acting is fine, you wear too many clothes. 'Tis hot, revive, fast not, sit down, recline upon this couch and take a little wine.
Good day, Mr. Bell. I see here in my notes the last time you came to us for counsel regarding Mistress Burbage and her tender advances.
Aye, and your advice to be dominating her were very well. This made Mr. Burbage start seeing me in a whole new light, innit? He was well impressed when I told her to go make me some pottage before rehearsal.
If you are so eager to comport yourself like a man, Humphrey, methinks 'tis time you did so upon the stage.
I see. So, as well as resolving the matter with Mistress Burbage, you have also been promoted to playing male roles now. On my word, that is very well to hear.
'Tis about another lady I'm come this day. 'Tis a member of the audience who comes to all my performances and brings me flowers and sweetmeats. A mature lady. A widow, innit?
Another one. On my word, you are most ill-fortuned, Mr. Bell. Verily, are no young players safe these days from being preyed upon by lecherous old ladies?
'Tis not all ladies, Dr. Foreman. Not this one, anyways. Emma ain't like any of the other ladies I've met. In truth, Dr. Foreman, we wish to be wed. I love her, innit?
Then what is your trouble?
Well, I've heard tell of some vexing things. There are them that say she has a heart of stone and only marries to get her hands on a man's money, though I have none, and she very rich. But she has been widowed many times, and there's even a rumour saying she's had a hand in her husband's deaths.
Oh, verily? How shocking.
I must own to being a trifle shook by it, and maybe a bit excited as well, but mainly shook, innit?
Doubtless you are, for 'tis most frightening if there be any truth to these rumours. We must consult the stars and see whether it be wise for you to marry. Should Humphrey Bell wed this wealthy widow, and what will become of him if he does? Mr. Bell, it has been my privilege to guide you over the years in matters of work and in life. Wisely, I hope, but certainly with the greatest sense of care for your well-being. Indeed, I have come to think of you as a father might think of a son. 'Tis a responsibility I have not taken lightly, and in loco parentis, as it were, I feel an obligation to...
Sir, begging your pardon, sir, but I'm going to stop you right there because I need to know, innit? Should I marry Emma or not?
Yes, I believe you may safely marry this lady, Mr. Bell. The stars suggest the rumours you did hear about her are needlessly cruel.
So this all lies then?
Well, not quite all lies, nay. The stars do also indicate that the lady was formerly most fixated upon the acquisition of money, though 'twould seem she no longer harbours such pecuniary passions, such as is consistent with her desire to marry a penniless player such as yourself.
Sir, it is decided. I shall marry my dear, sweet Emma. I'd be honoured if you came to see us wed, Dr. Foreman, if you be not too busy in that.
The honour shall be all mine, young Humphrey.
Mary oft takes her young niece to the cockfighting pits. She prefers a hanging, though she readily admits, viewed after drinking turnip wine until she's off her farm. La 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 la.
Good morrow, Mistress Payne. It has been quite some time since I last saw you. Did you ever hear from the Archbishop? I recall your husband was intending to write to him, expressing your concerns about the Continentals.
Aye, we did write, but he never replied. Not that I am surprised, mind you, as they do say that Archbishop Whitgift is a very idle man, not to speak of the unsavoury goings-on within the walls of Lambeth Palace. They say that in the great dining hall the Archbishop and his guests do feast and carouse from dusk till dawn, and 'tis said that in some of the palace rooms they indulge in fornication and sodomitical sins.
Verily indeed. Then doubtless that leaves him very little time to reply to every...
Truly methinks being surrounded by such decadence and corruption of the flesh is likely to have made the Archbishop very hard. Aye, bearing witness to so much vice would make a man very hard indeed. Hard, Dr. Foreman? Insensible to the needs and difficulties of ordinary folk such as you and I. Verily, I do not wonder that such a hard man gave me no satisfaction. Which is why I am come to you this day, Dr. Foreman. Something did trouble me last night, and I would have you tell me what it might have been.
I will if I can, madam. Prithee, describe it to me.
Well, at first was the noise of a boat that did awaken me. I got up out of bed and went to the window to see what was. As you know, on 4th Street we are right by the banks of the Thames. In the moonlight, I could just make out a ferry crossing the river, loaded up with large barrels.
And you thought it suspicious?
Aye, indeed, for the hour was very late and the boat's lamp was not lit. I did not wake Mr. Payne to ask his opinion, for, in truth, he has told me he wishes to hear no more about the things I see from our window. So, I am come to you, for I can have no rest until I know who those men were and what they were doing. Who knows what foul deeds may be afoot in Lambeth Town? Mayhap the men I saw were Catholic spies, engaging in some manner of nefarious plot against the realm.
Then let us see. What does God have to say regarding this boat you saw crossing the Thames last night? Was it some kind of elaborate Catholic plot, or is there a more likely explanation? Be not afeard, Mistress Payne, for there is a perfectly innocent explanation for what you saw. The men in the boat were naught but thieves and smugglers. Doubtless they were transporting contraband French wine or heady spirits.
Verily, Dr. Foreman? If that is what the stars say, then doubtless 'tis true, though I know not why English folk go to such trouble to drink that continental wine made with those decadent foreign fruits. Mr. Payne and I drink naught but good British wine made from wholesome English turnips.
Hear ye, hear ye! Catholic terror plot to blow up Parliament foiled! Gunpowder barrels discovered in cellar! Hear ye!
'Tis well to jest at merry pain, 'tis well to sneer and mock, until her views become the norm, then 'twill be quite a shock. But for now let's laugh at her and how her niece laughs. How her niece laughs, la 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 la.
Good day, Mistress Payne. You seem in good cheer.
That I am, Dr. Foreman. This day I am taking my niece on a lovely outing to see the cockfighting in Vauxhall.
Ah, there is a cockpit in Vauxhall now, is there?
Aye, and a very fine one. And I did think we need a nice day out to turn our minds away from that terrible affair of the Catholics plotting to blow up the Houses of Parliament. And my niece does so love the cocks.
Doubtless, madam. And the gunpowder plot was indeed a terrible business.
They say it was the doings of a group of young Catholic nobles from the Midlands, do they not? And that the gunpowder was ferried across the Thames at Lambeth under cover of darkness. Doubtless 'twas the very same boat I did tell you about, Dr. Foreman. It was most ill of you to tell me what I saw was merely smugglers transporting foreign wine.
Aye, mayhap I was in error there. But this day I am less concerned with the state of the nation and more concerned for your health, madam. For I do remark that your eyes are most red and irritated in appearance. And you seem troubled with a hacking cough. For how long have you had these troubles?
Only these past few days, and as well as my eyes and my cough, I do also find it a trifle vexing to breathe.
Then let us now consult the stars. What ails Mistress Mary Payne? Ah, madam, your symptoms are occasioned by noxious odours. Most likely you did lately inhale a large volume of smoke. Mayhap your chimney requires cleaning.
Indeed it does not, Dr. Foreman. My cleanliness is unimpeachable. I have my maidservants scour the house from top to bottom every day.
Ah, then I cannot be sure what has occasioned your... Hold. What is that acrid odour? Methinks it does emanate from your clothing. Madam, have you been taking part in the anti-Catholic pogroms that Lambeth has witnessed these past days? The burning of houses and shops, the lynching of priests from trees upon Lambeth Green.
Mayhap I have, and what of it? You should be congratulating me and my ilk for keeping you safe, and for sending a clear message to those Catholics who would plot against our Parliament and blow us up with gunpowder.
Madam, these Catholics are our neighbours, our colleagues, and our friends. I beseech you to consider your actions, madam. Are not Catholics people too, just as we are? If you prick them, do they not bleed?
Aye, and their flesh does burn the same and all. I fear I do not follow your reasoning, Dr. Foreman.
Are they not subject to the same diseases, healed by the same cures as we are? And if not cured, then, alas, taken so soon, so needlessly. I did never have the chance to... Oh, my sweet Avis, can you ever forgive me?
Is something the matter with you, Dr. Foreman? On my honour, you do seem most troubled. Mayhap you should be going to consult with a doctor yourself. God keep you well, Dr. Foreman. Blessed day.
Hear ye! London struck by plague. Playhouses closed by order of the king. Hear ye!
Save us, Almighty Lord. Save us from the wrath of God. Upon us he hath wrought his vengeance, just Is that not your job?
God give you good day, your grace. How fare you this...
Know you whether the plague will reach as far as Lambeth? Have you seen it in the stars?
Ah, the plague that has begun to spread throughout London. Rest assured, your grace, if the plague does indeed reach Lambeth, the people of Lambeth will have me, Dr. Simon Foreman, at their service. My renowned strong water cure will doubtless be required.
I bid you, read the stars for me now. Will or will it not reach Lambeth?
Of course, as it pleases your grace. Let us see what the stars have to say. Will the London plague reach beyond the city walls to Lambeth? Yes, the stars are most clear on the matter. Very clear indeed.
Then what do they say? Tell me!
Well, before I give you my answer, I would have your decision on granting me that medical license we spoke of on your previous visits. I am sorry, Your Grace, but I must insist upon it.
I would gladly do so, but I find my hands tied due to various episcopal and doctrinal... As I see you are determined not to let the matter rest, I will speak true. Some years ago, the Queen's physician, Dr. Richard Smith, did write me a letter on behalf of the College of Physicians. He warned me in the strongest terms against granting you a medical license. So you see, I cannot grant you a license without raising the ire of the College of Physicians.
But...
Now, Dr. Foreman, doubtless you are thinking that a man of my position, one of the most powerful men in England, should not be so easily put off by such a letter. However, and methinks you know this from your own experience, the college is a terrifying organization that will stop at nothing to get their way. One would be better off defying the Queen herself than the licensed doctors of London. For whilst our Lord God in heaven may be merciful, the College of Physicians is not.
Aye, verily, I must own that what you say is very true.
But mayhap I will furnish you with a letter of recommendation to the University of Cambridge. They may confer upon you a medical degree, and thereby a medical license.
I thank you, Your Grace.
Now, prithee, answer my question.
Your Grace, I am sorry to inform you that Lambeth will not escape the plague this time. It will reach Lambeth before the week is out.
God's mercy! Are you sure of this?
Aye, it seems this plague is God's punishment upon us, though 'tis not clear in the stars what the punishment is for. Debauchery, mayhap? Insufficient burning of heretics? 'Tis hard to know. No doubt such questions as these will occupy your thoughts in the coming hours and days, though doubtless your priority lies with preparing your clergy and their congregations for the trials to come.
Yes, indeed. I must start preparing the household now if we are to remove to Sussex before the plague reaches us.
But surely you're not leaving Lambeth, Your Grace. Not in its hour of need.
Worry not, Dr. Foreman. I will, of course, have my vicars remain, so they may give last rites to their parishioners.
Before you go, Your Grace, I believe you were intending to write me a letter of recommendation.
Well, indeed, I will reflect on the quality of advice you have given me over the years, and if I judge that you have acted with some skill, then I will have my new chaplain, Lancelot Moore, draft you a letter of recommendation and have it sent to you. Good day, Dr. Foreman.
Foreman gained a license to everyone's surprise. A true and proper doctor at last legitimized. But now he's risen up so far from whence he began. Will we common folk still see Foreman as our man?
You cannot board up my house! 'Tis not a plague house! You are mistaken! I do not have the plague! Let me out of here! Know you not who I am, you fools? I am Simon Foreman, Doctor of Astrology and Physic! Fie upon those ungrateful wretches! Have I not always been there for them when they needed me? Am I not the doctor who risked his life to cure them during the plague of '92, when all the other doctors and their high-born friends fled London and left them to die? Indeed, mayhap next time I will think again before risking my life in the service of the townsfolk, if this is the way I'm to be repaid. And forsooth, if my deeds are so easily forgotten by the living, what chance is there for my work to be remembered by generations to come? What will the world know of me once I'm gone? I see. Many years will pass before my work is to be given the recognition it deserves. Men living centuries from now, mayhap even ladies, will study my treatises and casebooks with great care and write histories about my work. But hold, does not Mr. Shakespeare tell the lives of great men upon the stage? Perchance playwrights will use the wondrous stage machinery of the future to illuminate my work. Mayhap the story of my life will be told by players, for my work is of great historical importance, and now that I have a medical license, not even the College of Physicians has the power to discredit me. But if I am to go forth into the world to make any further contributions to the advancement of medical science, I must find a way to pry these wretched boards off my front door. William! William! Fetch me a crowbar!
Long ago in England, in 1592, there begins our tale, and all of it is true. Through all of London, bubonic plague did spread, covering folk in weeping sores and leaving thousands dead.
From towns and cities, doctors they did flee, leaving their patients to die in misery.
But one brave doctor stayed when all the cowards fled. Might have to be because he was too sick to